know when he does the scripted intro.
Hey,
Is there still a scripted intro?
You still got a couple minutes. I gotta like post on Discord and stuff. So
I have to script my intro again.
I'll go get some water in the meantime.
you do that.
Water
That's
is pretty
something
gay.
podcast hosts do. Oh, there we go. Now he's got his gay joke out.
I
got one.
I'm just looking at my the list of people in my Discord, and this is not crab, but somebody's named themselves 12 feral crabs doing blow. You know what? That's a party I want to be involved in.
Do you really?
I think they're downstairs crabs more than water crabs.
All right, what's a good emoji to describe how we feel tonight?
The start of chaos, maybe.
I don't know if that's in the emoji library.
Here, let me.
How about a curling stone? That works for me.
How does that like represent a feeling? Tell me.
The feeling is that I just pick an emoji to go with my live announcement every time, and I just scroll through, and then I see something. It's like, you know what, that looks cool.
I see something from another Discord. Is that a fucking Ted Cruz emoji?
I don't know. It could be from another Discord you're in. I don't know if I have the ability to post other Discord stuff.
It'll let me, but I have to get Discord Nitro, whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah. My Discord is not bumping enough for me to invest money in it.
Yeah, you know, like this is the first. I fucking hate you. I just watched the fucking podcast and why I'm fucking Nishiki. I hate you.
Because,
I fucking hate you.
Because you never gave me a suggestion for what you should be.
Yeah, but why?
Wait, what does he mean should be?
Well, because I've got like just like JPEGs or whatever, PNGs of random like characters to represent us. Yours is, you know, your toast faced killer. Since you told me to use that one. Then I've got what's his face, Neku from The World Ends With You, and screaming and crying in pain as I normally do. Crab,
but you do it internally.
Yeah, Crab is a knight from Dark Souls, and Fallen is Nishiki from the Yakuza series because it's his favorite character.
I'm going to jump from the window. Be right back. But yeah, do you have your intro or it has been done already?
I do have an intro. It hasn't been done already. We technically haven't started since Crab's getting water.
Man, could you imagine we get famous and like I wind up meeting the adult who was once the child in that fucking bread photo?
See, that would be hilarious.
What would be your comment to that person? Like,
thanks for whatever that is.
I owe you so much.
I owe you my entire career.
Yeah, dude, that's the type of dude who helped you make a brand.
So, in this October, are you going to get a costume like that?
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
That in this October on Halloween, are you going to get a costume like that?
Oh, custom. I feel like someone would make fan art of that kid but it'd be me, and I'd probably hate it.
I can't solve that.
Oh, like you're gonna draw that real quick?
I could.
Follow no rule 34 allowed during podcast hours.
I
Yeah, that's for
mean,
the before show.
for the after party. But
Ree wishes us good luck.
Thank you.
And we should start recording the pre-show bullshit for like a Patreon thing, and then
Thanks
someone
for-
goes and pays $5, and it's like a 2-minute recording of like getting out the racist comments.
It's just a 2-minute recording of me smoking a couple bowls and then coughing repeatedly into the microphone. That's what you paid $5 for on Patreon, guys. I hope you like it.
for me, intoxicating and killing myself slowly.
Yeah. All right. So, welcome to episode 4 of the Shednanigans podcast, the only podcast on the internet that may or may not double as an illegal Mario Party related gambling ring. I'm your host, Daniel Duke. Everybody else, introduce yourselves.
Okay,
Crab.
so I'm
Crab, go first.
okay.
I now go first. Hi, I'm Crab. I just overdosed on math. I'm sorry.
Math, not even once.
Yes. I'm Fallen, and por favor manden ayuda, estoy aquí en contra de mi voluntad. Nice to meet you.
I thought we were speaking real language here, not made up.
What's the line? Hi, my name is Bread. I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Bread.
I actually don't remember
I
the
think we
last
need
time
someone
I
to
had a
say
drink.
hi.
I feel like it was last week.
I
Oh,
think for me it was like a month ago. I don't know. I don't drink at all, so I don't know.
I think for me it was about half a second ago.
Probably about this time last week.
Yep.
I mean, I haven't left my house since the quarantine, so.
Oh,
that-
so he can't buy booze, so he definitely doesn't drink.
You can't go to the beer store to get some BBC.
Yeah, exactly. A big
Just-
throbbing
Just
beer.
ferment some apple juice.
Yes.
Yeah, just ferment that in a 10-gallon jug, and in about 3 months' time, you might be able to get a little drunk off of it.
Or at least vaguely poisoned.
I'd rather be poisoned than drunk in my current situation. But yeah.
Yeah,
So-
how's that? Does your family still have COVID?
I think
No?
it's been long enough.
I mean, no, that I think that I know, like, I could ask, but it will be something interesting if they say yes.
We got it again.
I mean, your
me, I
brother is
guess.
an anti-vaxxer, so maybe.
My bigger brother, but he lives in another city, like 8 hours from here, so he can die there alone.
Good.
That went real dark real quick.
A red shiny apple that does need to add more expensive options for channel points. Yes, I do. That's on my list of things that
Yes,
I need to go through.
I just got essentially that amount and like one random pop up, and I'm like, okay, sure, I'll spend 1,000 points. It's like a fraction of what I have.
You could have complimented me.
What is a red shiny apple not a compliment?
I mean,
Yeah, but you. Oh, I thought I had a compliment one. Oh shit.
Oh, is there a compliment? I can't tell because I have this like half screen. It gets like covered up. Let's see, insult, sacrifice,
Yeah, I don't think I do.
latex condo. Oh my god. No, you don't. You have nothing for compliments. Therefore, red shiny apple is what you get to be tonight.
Oh, good. Okay, that's fine with me.
that sounds like really dirty nickname, if you ask me. Maybe I'm too perverted, but yeah.
Oh, like he's your red shiny apple.
It's
Yes.
well, if you think about it, if you rub someone's butt enough, it does turn red.
Okay, no,
But
no.
I
So
don't got those apple bottom jeans, bro.
how do I turn it shiny? I oil it up or what?
You slap it.
You can't go wrong with copious amount of lube.
Just find someone really sweaty.
Hey, no, just happened to cross my mind. Have you seen these people that like do a hot dog eating contest that they like deep throat the fucking thing?
Hell yeah,
Oh,
It
yeah,
will
man.
they just
be
slap it
Kobayashi's
down
my
and
hero.
I mean,
it will be easier with lubricant.
Nah, man. That's extra volume you're adding to what goes into your stomach. You can't do that.
I mean,
it would be harder if those were like desiccated, crunchy hot dogs. So I think
Yes.
there's some merit to it.
There is some merit to it. You know what? Just slap some ketchup down.
what is ketchup if not a food lube?
What is food if not a
it
vehicle
is a
to deliver
smoothie.
condiments into my mouth?
Haven't we already had this argument where we debate whether or not ketchup is a smoothie?
Yes, we did.
Well,
Okay.
to skip that
Okay, I can't
rehash
remember if we
debate,
did it here.
I have a question. How come there's no like food eating contest where you take a bunch of the world's driest, shittiest crackers, pulverize them into a powder, and you have to eat that powder as fast as possible?
I thought that you were going to say snort it or something like that.
Well, no, it's
You
like
do
you want
that
to see
in
you
high
eat it,
school
but
and
like,
people get $50.
Uh,
Oh man,
I mean,
Takeru Kobayashi has a record of eating 69 hot dogs in one sitting, which was
Well,
the record for. Trying to find out when the record started. When he got that.
Fred, there you go. I found the saltine cracker challenge just for you.
oh, I was just thinking, is it eating the most saltines possible without like taking a drink?
Boy.
I don't know.
Boy.
I used to eat like packs of saltines without any issues, so I don't know how hard that would be.
BJ Builds, thank you for the
Well,
follow.
then we have to develop a drier, shittier food.
wait. I feel disgusted by this article. Why do you need a fork to eat crackers?
Because you have to like mash them down. So the fork is used to like crush down the crackers, and you got to eat like the powder or whatever, is what I
Well,
read.
Well, then
I
why
don't know.
not? Why not
I
just
it
didn't
eat
read
a
about
literally
bunch
it
of
is what I said.
breadcrumbs?
But yeah,
Just get a
so
giant tub of breadcrumbs and eat that.
sandwich.
I no.
Can we just
No.
hold a
Yeah, but
contest
bread
and
is
make people eat
fluffier.
sand?
We could. I don't know if people would
There you
like
go.
it,
There's
but we
something
could.
dry. I
Toast
mean, they have a
sandwich.
cinnamon challenge for that.
A piece of
Yeah, but
toast
I want something
sandwich
like
between two
achievable.
pieces of bread.
I mean, that's achievable. I think you like might get injured, but it's achievable.
We could do something similar to the Trailer Park Boys live show where
You
they
are
do.
obsessed with that.
Yes, they do a joint rolling contest. Then they have everybody chug a beer, see who can do it fastest, and then they do bobbing for turds, which they have a bunch of like chocolate bars in kitty litter that you have to, pull out with just your face.
And why?
So I'm gonna point out you confused me at first when you said rolling a joint. I'm like, wait, how do you intentionally like hurt your ankle?
I mean, if you put your mind into it.
Well,
That
first
that
step
is the
is to
real
get
victim of
real
the war on
baked.
drugs.
Look, I don't smoke the weed or the Mary Jane. Bark. So I don't know all of this stuff. My think normal human things, not plant things.
Like speaking normally, I see. Yes, very human of you.
Look, there was a bark that came from presumably bread's thingy.
No, no,
Yeah,
no,
my
no.
dog just got beat up by a cat. Yeah.
I bet on
Common
the cat.
occurrence.
The
He
cat is going to
interrupted his
win.
sentence because of it.
The cat wins. I bet on the cat. It's
Oh yeah,
I
currently
bet on
they'll
the
they'll
cat
claw
too.
her in the butt and she'll freak out and scream at them.
Yes. I never got like the illegal dog fights and whatnot because they are like boring. Why don't you spice it up like mixing a species, like you don't know, like a cat, a tiger, or something like that? Like I bet the gorilla wins beating up the tiger. Like yeah, that is fucking illegal. Please don't do it, please. But at the same time, it's like it could be more interesting.
Oh, see, there is something that
There was
is
a
legal.
TV show about that.
There's a subreddit I found that was called bug fights. People just find random bugs and just throw them in a jar together until one of them dies.
That's legal. If I wanted to watch two cats fight, I
Colin, I
could just
found the
turn
TV
around.
show for you.
Okay.
There you go. And it's called Animal Face Off. So there was always these TV shows where they came with these hypothetical situations. Like I can't remember, I think it was like called something Warrior a long time ago. Where they like
Similar to
create
the hit
Deadliest
these
Warrior?
Spike
fake
TV
Aztec
show
warriors.
Deadliest Warrior, as it says on this article that you just posted.
Look, I don't know how to read.
That show started like it was trying to be like legit, and then they just got weirder and weirder.
After a
They're like,
while,
we're
they're
just
like,
making
"This is
shit up now.
Yeah.
What
that
if we
sounds like
had?
normal television.
What if we had Edo period samurais fighting against the Spetsnaz? And it's like, oh, the Spetsnaz won. Who would have guessed? I don't know. Man, that was a close one.
Well, that's what happens when you run out of content. Like this reminds me of the one YouTuber who posted fake challenge runs of his gameplay and insulted people, and then stole hentai from OnlyFans for his YouTube. And it was like, yeah,
Wait, you talking about game
how the
theory?
mighty have fallen. No, not game theory. That's a whole bunch of other dumbassery that should be ignored. I'm taught like I can't even remember the guy's name, but this guy would be like his whole philosophy was that you either first try it or you're bad at a game. He was effectively a Nazi for video games when it came down to it. And when everyone started calling him out on his bullshit, he started stealing hentai from OnlyFans and posting it on YouTube to get like views or whatever. And it wouldn't be like full on porn, but it'd be like it would be booby enough for you to want to click on it. And then he got called out for that.
I have pretty high standards with my booby content, so
Especially on YouTube.
especially on YouTube.
I mean, I wouldn't go to YouTube for my boobies. I have Twitter for that now, apparently.
Yes, yes. And also, you couldn't catch me with that gay shit. I rather like dicks than that.
Look, to each their own, but I definitely had a moment like school's in now, so so buses are super busy, and I definitely had a moment of like everybody says you shouldn't open Twitter on the bus, and I'm like, fuck that. I'm gonna explicitly take my time to admire the artwork on these titties while somebody's standing like literally a foot behind me looking at my screen. And
Just
like
you can be like, wow, look at this.
No, you know what? That's a good point. I don't think I've reached that level of Chad where I start sharing it with people. Not explicitly, at least. I'm just, making a point that like, yeah, I'm looking at titties. If you don't like that, don't look at my fucking phone.
Yeah, like that is the worst part. Like,
Hey, dude.
go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say, like, if you want to be a real Chad, just, like, lean over to the guy. It's like, hey, bro, do you think this butthole's gaping enough?
The answer is always it can gape more. Always things can gape more. Always that is the answer. But yeah, like mind your fucking business. Like, oh no, close the fucking that you are in public. No, I'm in my cell phone. Like, get a life. I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
get
but
an
you have an
account.
erection.
The worst
Did I
part is
tell
that.
you guys about how
Uh-huh.
when I first got the work Wi-Fi, the first thing I did accidentally after like the guy walked away was open fucking a fucking porn video.
Now, was
How
it
do
on
you?
purpose or accidentally?
It was
Yeah.
very accidental. So I went. He wanted me to go sign. Like basically, is where you join a McDonald's Wi-Fi or whatever. You have to go to like just any blank Chrome page and be like, oh, sign in, accept the terms, conditions, whatever. Well,
Yeah.
he wanted to do that while staring at my phone, and I did not know what was going to come up the second like Chrome loaded because I was like, oh my god, he's just no privacy. I want to see whatever the fuck you were just looking at.
Hmm.
And it happened to be some garbage. It was like toys in a landfill for memes to like make fun of some other guy in like a group chat. But in that like brand new web page thing was a porn video. So I was like, oh, he might have saw that last time. I should get rid of that. And I went to hold it to like remove this from fucking web browser thing. My autocorrects or fills. And I didn't hold it long enough, so it's like, oh dog, you just wanted to click the porn? Alright, cool, here's the video. And it was the first fucking web page I went to.
Yeah.
He was even like, I gotta go check the IP, make sure your phone's on there. I'm like,
Oh
great.
God. Good, thanks. Well, at least you know that you're not the only one at work that watches porn, so you can take solace in that. Take solace
Right.
that your IT guy notices that you don't watch as much porn as that other guy.
As the
Yes.
other guy.
Exactly.
Oh look, we have another one.
Or you can like make a competition to see who is the one that watches more porn on the work on the job.
At
No,
least
like-
this one has taste.
Well, I think there's like a maximum of like 8 hours per dude. Like,
of porn or internet.
Well, you're gonna have
Well,
to.
Yes.
you
You're
can
gonna.
work overtime.
Yeah, you're gonna have to start taking some overtime, man. Unpaid overtime.
Exactly. No, but you can multitask. Like you can have many tabs open with different porn websites and whatnot. Like be creative.
I feel like I'd have to
Isn't that
get
just
more
normal porn browsing?
devices.
Working hard or hardly working? Well, I'm watching porn, so the first one.
Hey man, it's hard work to watch 8 porn videos at once.
Yes.
Yeah,
You don't
I've
get confused and whatnot.
I've accidentally opened Pornhub at work. I've purposely opened Pornhub at work, but usually on my phone. But so like anytime I use the work computer for like personal stuff, because I work overnight and we don't care if you just fuck around on the computer for a bit.
Jerk
Like
off at the front desk, apparently.
yeah, right in front of the camera. Like there's like we just open incognito tabs to do whatever we want, so it doesn't bog down our cookies and search history and shit. So like prior to working at the hotel, the only thing I ever used incognito tabs for was searching for porn, because I just didn't want that in my history at home. But everything else is fine. So every time I open up an incognito tab at work, the first thing my brain thinks is like, all right, let's go to Pornhub. And and I've only done it once, but it's been like it's been a struggle, a real struggle not to do it on a regular
Probably
basis.
think of it the second you see that logo.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm just fucking I've Pavloved myself into it. Incognito tabs are for porn and nothing else.
That tells me a lot of your younger age. Like,
No. When I was younger, I
So-
didn't give a shit. I wasn't using any proxies. I wasn't using incognito tab. I was
Well, they
just
didn't
like,
have that back then.
you make a good point. Like if my sister wanted to use my laptop, I had to immediately like clear my search history and everything, because like my sister, who's 5 years younger than me, shouldn't be seeing that shit.
Good point. Fair enough. But at the same time, like, if you're an adult, why do you have to use incognito mode in your free time?
I
Like,
don't
I get it on
have
the
to.
web,
It's just
Well,
Well, I
when
guess the answer would be so that way porn isn't the first thing that shows up in my autocorrect when the fucking IT guy has to stand over my phone and stare at everything that pops up when I go to type in Google.
see, that's a good argument. I was just thinking that I didn't want I didn't want my weird hentai showing up whenever I'm trying to search for like something to do in a video game. with my partner right next to me. Not
You
that
don't
she
want
cares, but I don't want to have to get into that
explain.
conversation.
You don't want to be
I didn't
judged
know
by
you
your.
were into that.
Okay, give me a second.
Took you long enough, Jesus. You should know, Crab.
Wait. What do I know now?
The
What
type of
exactly?
porn
What
that
am
I
I
watch.
supposed to know that you're into?
The-
Oh, is that what that link was? I haven't clicked on it yet. Sorry.
Oh, it's porn, I bet.
I have acquired
I
food.
I don't know.
I'm better than
So I
you.
have a question.
Go ahead.
What comes up when you type in the letter P into Google Chrome? What is the first thing
Uh,
that pops up for you guys?
I
All
don't
right, I
use
use
Chrome, so it doesn't.
Firefox, but the first thing that shows up for me is partnership job board.
Let's go find
Mine,
out.
mine is Pinterest.
Prefab
Pinterest, really?
sheds.
Prefab sheds.
I googled it yesterday, so there is a reason for it.
Can you explain the reason why you Google that?
He's
Yeah, I
taken the
want to build
woodshed
a
culture
shed
to
next
heart.
week. Yeah, I'm gonna build one.
We've inspired him.
Oh my
but,
god.
Yeah,
you
woodsheds
know,
are the
Thought it would
best
be
for.
porn, so I impressed myself.
I
in,
didn't know what mine would be. Mine's actually weird. Apparently it's paste bin for me.
I mean,
That's
it's
not
not
the
that weird,
worst.
and
Paste
also,
bin is
No, right.
and it's kind of useful, to be honest with you.
paste bin is where you go and you need
Yeah.
to write a lot of words about somebody that sexually assaulted you 10 years ago.
No, they have like Twit longer or something like that that people use. I don't know. I I don't know. I haven't really followed or read anything from anyone like that in a long time on Twitter. They just use the long comments just to keep going and going and going.
The threads, yeah.
Here's a thread of like 50 tweets, and then it cuts off abruptly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you didn't just like you're not still writing this thread. This was from 3 days ago. Finish your thought, man. But yeah, it's
At
been a
that
little.
point, that will be at that point they will be worried by that person. Like, are you okay? Like something happened to you? You were writing this awesome novel and you stopped suddenly.
We had a
Oh, I
stroke.
feel like it's just old people who don't get it instead of just like when people could reply to themselves on Reddit, but they keep making the same post, a separate post over and over. I feel like there's plenty of old people on Twitter doing that.
Yeah, and they start like 1 out of X.
I feel like
they blind it and everything. I'm sorry.
one of my favorite examples of old people on Twitter is Charlie Sheen, because I have no idea what goes through that guy's head when he's formatting his tweets. He'll like type 2 words and then return, and then type like 5 words, return, and then like type 3 more words, and it's all the same sentence, and like there's no structure to it. And it's like, did you just like did you do that on purpose? Are you trying to get something across when you're doing that? Like, did somebody tell you this was proper etiquette? Or are you just being Charlie Sheen and like, high on tiger blood? Like, what the fuck?
I was
I
looking for his Twitter and I get to this wonderful image. Like, give me a second.
Man, I do that sometimes too, where like I'll be like, oh, I'll change the phrasing for this. I'll go delete something in the middle of a text and then rewrite it, and it just fucks up the grammar for the rest of the text, but I don't notice until after it's sent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Years of like having to edit research papers makes me do paragraphs like that. So I can understand the weird formatting that goes on. It just makes it easier to be like, okay, I fucked up here and I was dumb. But let me go back and be dumb in whole new ways real quick.
I don't like my old dumbness or whatever. I prefer this new shit. I want to get it bad but properly. Something like that.
Dan, can
Charlie
you please
Chin.
change? Yeah, can you
Yeah.
please change this image to Fallen's new Whoever he is, I think he's finally submitted a picture.
All right, let's do that.
I mean, I'm not against it. I want to be Charlie Chin.
Holy shit.
I'm against it because my profile picture doesn't accurately describe me as a crab.
Upload a crap then.
I don't know how to draw. I don't know.
What about
Danny,
your?
learn to
What you
draw for
could
me.
do is just paste a shitty picture of a crab over the head of the Dark Souls guy.
I could do that.
Crab Souls 3.
So today is the episode where you edit everything. We are here sitting, seeing you edit everything. Yeah.
Yes.
And we're judging you.
Yes. We
Live
are the
on
council.
podcast.
I wonder how big my delay is for your stream. I've been uploading a video for like 7 hours, and I've got another hour left on it.
For your YouTube.
Yes, that thingy.
Oh, okay. I was going
I,
to do
I
a
had to
joke,
like
but
download. I had to download like 20 gigabytes of video to edit out 4 minutes of a song that YouTube wouldn't let me mute, and
Well, that's rude.
yeah, I know. So I don't know. I hate YouTube. It blows.
go to Pornhub. It's a better platform.
Look, I don't have the titties.
No, but you can upload gameplay. It's
I
a real
could.
thing on there.
I could, but that doesn't sound like fun. I don't know how to socialize with porn stars. They talk about anal and talk about deep throating, and I only do like well, I
Jay-Z, you
guess I
just
do
talk
that kind
about
of
anal
stuff.
and deep throating.
Yes, exactly. It's not that hard. You know something about it. You know about the gaping dragon. And as
The
far as my
gaping
knowledge,
dragon? Okay, I know about dragon dildos, but what's a gaping dragon? What is this new thing?
Look, man, you want a
From Dark
conversation
Souls
starter
1?
with the porn stars?
yeah, exactly. It's like the joke was made for you and you missed it. I fucking hate you.
Look, I can't help it that I don't know your random porn terminology. I don't hang out with porn stars.
Says the dude that invented a new maneuver during a podcast.
Wait, I invented a new maneuver? What? Wait, what?
Remember that? I don't remember what we were talking about, but you were like, "No, I go into the girl and I start doing an helicopter and whatnot," and
Oh,
I was like,
yes. Let's not get back into that.
I don't
so
remember this, and I'm pretty sure this is a lie unless Danny has a recording of this to post in Discord immediately.
Immediately. Okay.
it, there is not an immediate recording
Well, I
of
mean, there's
that,
only
but it
4
happened.
episodes of the podcast, so like,
8
not that hard to
hours?
find.
4 is a pretty big number. It's like 2 squared.
You know, 4 is a big number because rich people cannot count to 4. For example, Gaben.
That's a good
Is
example.
3 a requirement to get to 4?
Well, if you just skip it and do 2 plus 2, you can just do that instead. I don't know. Math is a little bit more malleable.
Than social interactions?
Look, I can say this. When it comes down to it, social interactions either end up with someone liking you, hating you, wanting to fuck you in the butt, or wanting to get away from you.
How can I get the third one?
That
Because
one
I
was
have
very
tried.
specific.
They were all kind of specific.
Which one were it? Because all of them were specific. Uh, but yeah. Anyone has a funny story to tell? Maybe, oh yes, I did this.
I would like to revisit and add to a previous topic we discussed.
Uh-huh. Go
That
ahead.
is not one of the bad ones. Maybe it is. Probably no. It's fine.
Probably it
When
is.
we discussed the etiquette of jerking off in the military,
Mm-hmm.
I have more information to follow up on. I got to ask that very question to a guy who was in the military. Apparently, it's just wherever the fuck you find the time. Like you'll be sitting like as a sentry guard and be the only one there, and you'll be bored. And after like 3 hours, just fucking whip it out and crank it on the spot.
That is a new definition for masturbation. Out
Look,
of
man, so
boredom.
so long as you're still keeping an eye out, at least you know doing your job.
And apparently, it's very common for dudes to just bring their laptop into the fucking shitter, like the porta potty, and no one asks
No,
any
no
questions 'cause
judgment.
everyone knows. Yeah, exactly.
Everyone knows and they understand it. It's like a code that they have. Like, oh, he went there with the laptop, so yeah,
Don't
fine.
ask, don't tell.
But that
Except
was the
that
other
usually refers to
disturbing.
something else.
That was the other insightful piece of information is that everyone jerks on top of everyone else's shits.
Maybe that turns them on.
I
Dude,
mean,
here's
I'm
the
sure
thing.
it
there's
can make you
one.
lightheaded.
I'm sure there's one person in there that gets turned on by that thought. And if anybody ever finds out about that, he won't be in the military anymore.
He won't be allowed on the bathroom anytime soon.
See, I think there's one guy who's probably Pavlonian training himself there to the smell of shit and is probably horrified by it.
Oh god. I saw this Reddit post about some dude that Pavloved himself into a scat fetish, and it was like basically because he would only jerk off when he was growing up in the bathroom, and he would like take a shit as he did it every time. And he's an adult, and he's like, you know, asking relationship advice on like how to get his girlfriend to shit on his chest because that's the only way he can get off is if there's shit involved. And it's like you probably need a
Lovely.
new girlfriend that's into that, and like you need to talk to somebody and find somebody that's into that. Nothing wrong with it, just keep it away from people who don't want it.
Exactly.
Just go
And,
to Craigslist.
and try to be clean because, like,
Yes,
I,
there
I
are
love
steps
how
involved.
I love how consistent relationship advice was first break up with her, then find someone who's into that.
yes. That is Reddit. The most suggestion on relationships on Reddit is break up with that person.
Oh yeah,
Well,
definitely.
that's because Reddit it doesn't really have experience with relationships, so
I'd say that's about like I'd say that's the case for about 50% of it, and the other 50% is like this story is very obviously a shitty relationship that should not exist in the world. Please make sure that that does not continue to exist.
yeah, a very
This
shitty
relationship must be
relationship, I bet.
destroyed.
But at the same time, it's like half of things on Reddit are like faked. So, eh,
Well, I guess it comes from too like it could be a fucking 12-year-old pointing like, oh, out of all my relationships, you should break up.
Yeah, that's also the case, but like
Like,
those are like outliers. When you go on like to r/am I the asshole, and like you're looking at this story of fuck. There's so many completely ridiculous ones that it's like this couldn't even be made up. Like nobody would in their right mind would be able to come up with a story like this unless it was actually true.
but in that topic, sorry for interrupting. I like the titles of the "Am I the asshole?" Like, "Am I the asshole for hitting my father?" or something like that.
Am I
Yeah,
the asshole for shooting on my girlfriend's chest?
Exactly.
there's definitely like a line of like
it's like clickbait.
yeah, well, the large majority of them is like you read the headline, you read the title of the thread, and it's like, yeah, you're the asshole. I don't need to read the details. I get it. But the best ones are the ones where you read the title and you come to a conclusion, and then after you read the actual body of it, you're like, wait, that doesn't
Yeah,
describe it at all.
it's like, am I the asshole for beating my child? And then you go to the thing, it's like, my child is Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, and it's like, you know what? Maybe you're not an asshole.
And it goes the other way around. That is the funny thing. Like, Am I the asshole for helping my mother or something like that? Yeah,
I
maybe
mean,
there
everyone's
is
an asshole.
exactly, but but at the end, I think that at least 80 or 90% of the stories in there are at least edited to sound more interesting. Because okay, I give you the point. There is things that no one can come out, but I bet most of them are like they write it and they thought about it and they edit it to sound more interesting.
Well, I think it's not to sound more interesting. It's like, how do I tweak this story a little bit? Let's ignore the parts where I was the asshole, and I know I was, because I want Reddit to tell me I was good.
But that is human behavior. That is not only Reddit, to be honest with you. I can find that
Reddit is
kind
run
of
by
people.
humans.
It doesn't seem like.
Look, just because you have a huge paranoia of robots coming over there and shoving a mechanical dildo down your mouth doesn't mean that Reddit is not a bunch of humans rather than your paranoid thoughts of them being pure
See,
robots.
that is the problem. Why they have to shove it on my mouth? Why not in my butt? There is places for things. That is my problem.
Be,
How should I?
because because if you like what's happening to you, then they don't get what they want.
Exactly. So no, that is not run by humans. It's run by psychopaths.
What if the
Yes,
goal
and
they
those are
have is
still
really to
people.
just come and tell you where you can shove what?
Ex-
I mean, that just sounds like fundamentalist Christians here in the States.
You heard it here first. Reddit is run by psychopaths.
Fundamentalist
And
Christians.
robots.
and fundamental Christians. Like, yeah.
Psychopathic fundamentalist Christian robots.
I want that nickname to put on a game or something.
Yeah, Danny, when you get
Let's
around to
make a
start
game around
seriously
that one
making
sentence.
game assets. Hey, you guys get me the assets, I'll put it together. We'll make a fortune.
I will think
I feel like
about
we'll
it.
get banned from Steam.
Well,
Nah,
No,
no,
they got
because
no
see, the thing
rules
is
in it
like
these days.
hentai shooter.
There is a lot
Yeah,
of shit
here,
on Steam that.
we
That was-
we will
if I
genuinely try to make a game and then get marked as spam.
that will never happen because even the worst voted, the ones that have been reported, they still exist. It doesn't matter if you're like reusing rehashed stolen assets from the hentai whatever website, your game will be up there and people will
Yeah.
buy it.
If you want to do the experiment, open Steam and go to your recommended list of games and renew it a lot of times. Eventually, it's going to start throwing you shit like that.
I honestly half the fucking you go to new releases and 90% of it's just like crappy hentai visual novel.
Yeah,
The other
that
13
is.
that just got released this week.
Yep. There's a lot of that, and a reason why I've started ignoring browsing options in Steam.
I mean, when I'm bored enough, I like to laugh at myself, so I do it just for enjoyment, like to see the bullshit that people came out with. So yeah,
Hey, they're
Like, are they
making
just
money from
easy to
that.
make?
for me watching at
I
them,
mean,
not downloading them, just scrolling past them.
yeah, but they're still making money even from making that. So like you might be getting a laugh out of it, but so are they. They're still making money, not from you necessarily, but just in general.
I mean, if they are not harming anyone, like go ahead, I guess.
Let's see. Explore my queue. First suggestion: furry puzzle. Why the
No.
hell is this the first suggestion?
Because you are a furry. Well, let me discuss that.
Well, that's one way to out yourself.
You could ignore it and say like it's loading and go to the next one, but no.
Look, I want you guys to know that I am 100% honest with you all the time. And I have no idea why this is in my suggestions because
No.
I can't think of
Isn't that
anything.
a bit like going Like going, let's all reveal the last thing of our web browser history. Hey, why is it poor?
uh, Today is a good night.
But like, I'm looking at the trailer for this game, and most of the porn games I've come across on Steam usually don't put anything like in the trailer or the screenshot pictures that they have. This one's just straight up like, yeah, here's just fucking full on furry porn. Like, don't give a shit. Here you go. Here's a
what-
dog with titties. Like,
That is good advertisement. They show
what is
they
it?
question.
Discovery queue?
yeah, I went into my discovery queue, and everything
Do you have
else
the
is
adult
like,
filter turned on?
no, why would I do that? Then I can't look at all the funny
Well,
hentai games. Everything
Also-
else
well,
in
here's
this
the
queue
thing,
is
you're
like
going
a
to get that.
No,
Ev-
but even with that turn off, it doesn't work. Like for example, if you go to the Payday 2 webpage, please verify your age. But if you go to I have sex with my brother and blah blah blah, whatever hentai game name that you can think of, like yeah, go ahead. It's for everyone.
yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't like show nipples.
I
or
had
buttocks
20
Ah,
games.
No,
or
they
vaginas.
do. They do, and they do not like ask for age verification. And like, okay, if it was a web page for only adults, I will be like, okay, I don't care. But yeah, it's a
Well,
stupid.
I did the Discovery queue challenge. You heard it here first. We invented it.
I
I
found
got
one named RoboGal.
Yeah, I got like a legitimately good game that is actually something we might want to play. It's called Forewarned. It's a 4-player like horror survival game. I think they saw Plasmaphobia get big and then made this.
It's very likely a lot of games born out of that. But if you want to get to the weird games, you have to burn out your discovery queue a lot of times. So
Yeah, no, I can't remember the last time I went through it.
just go and
So, Fallen, here's a question for you. How
Mhm.
many games have you ignored in your discovery queue?
I
I'm
go
not
to it pretty
sure.
often, so I've done a
I
lot.
I
I-
also go pretty often. So ugh.
yeah, like I was gonna say I had
Just get to
20
the end of your
games
queue and it'll tell
in
you.
I had 20 games in my queue, and that was the only adult related one, the first one. But now I'm doing a deep dive, and like so the developer Ahagao Games has 3 games: Furry Puzzle, Furry Lust, and Furry Pride. And from what I can tell, all of them use the exact same artwork. So like there's
You
like
think it's the
nothing
gameplay
new.
that changes?
I think yeah, it looks like the gameplay does change. Like the actual
I,
what you do to earn these fucking JPEGs looks to
I
be
was going to
different.
ask that. Like, if
It's
the
like
gameplay
he drew
changes, okay.
6 porn cartoons and was like, all right, let's change. This one's a match 3 to get it.
Hey, that is another fun thing about those games. They are the stupidest games ever. Like, if you want to launch porn and make people pay for it, like, okay, go ahead, launch like a game that is only a slideshow. People pay for that. Like, okay, but
Yeah, it's like
don't make an excuse.
here's Bejeweled, but at the end you can jerk off.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like if someone is paying that for jerking off, like don't get in the middle of their dicks or their whatever, because you know if they want to jerk off, they don't want to be thinking like, oh, what will be the next perfect movement for me to win this precious picture or
Maybe that's
whatever.
the only way some people can justify it to themselves. Like they want to feel like they work for it. Like, wow, that was a tricky level. Now I can finally get down to business.
It's to don't feel bad by themselves.
See, I just remember a time when we could find that on Newgrounds and not have to pay for it.
You still can.
Well, yeah, but it's not like people are uploading it very often. Tight Night
They
Slav
are.
says jerking off should be free.
No. That is the best part. They are. Go check Newgrounds and you will see.
Oh
They are
yeah, like
uploading
there's
daily.
occasionally still new stuff, but trust me, I go there pretty often.
Do you really?
Specifically for the
I-
porn.
I do too, and I find many things new. Like, okay,
You want to make 50
make,
cents every time you jerk? Well, then start uploading it to Pornhub. You probably will.
exactly. We already touched the topic. Drop your to YouTube and go to Pornhub. Easy.
Do you think you could go to like Fiverr or something and then try and pay someone to make a shitty porn flash game for Newgrounds?
Yeah, like 20, 30 bucks or less.
No, it's Fiverr. It's supposed to be $5.
Eh,
That's the point of Fiverr, is that you pay $5 for these things.
but there are things listed by much more. So
Can I commission you to make me a Flash game even though Flash is dead? Yes, absolutely, it is for porn. No, I won't be providing the assets.
What
Well,
do you think
because
I'm
if I
paying you
provide,
for?
well, because if I provide the assets, then I've seen the porn before, and then I'm no longer interested.
That is a good logic there, to be honest with you.
Do you think the
Okay,
people who make these shitty hentai anime like slideshow porn games, do you think they jerk off to their own games?
yes.
Probably.
Yes, there is many of them talking about the topic, and they say yes, we do.
Yeah, like general consensus from like anybody that does anything porn related, I have heard that yes, they do. They do in fact pleasure themselves to the work that they make. Whether it be artists on Twitter or people making flash games or, like actual legitimate porn actors.
Well, see,
So, crap.
legitimate porn actors is separate. Well, that's a whole other can of worms, actually. But I was gonna say, I don't know if I could jerk off to a pair of titties that I drew,
Hmm.
and I don't know if that's the quality of titties that I can draw. Like, it speaks to my artistic ability.
See,
I bet
I
it's the
just had a
artistic
thought.
ability.
I just had a thought, and I think it's why like a lot of porn artists draw like really good detailed stuff is because they go and they start jerking off to a piece before they publish it. And then they're looking at everything, they're like, oh man, I made a mistake. And then in the middle of jerking off, they go and they fix it. And then they come back and they continue what they were doing and they keep doing it until the piece is perfect and they finally come. And then they can post it on Twitter.
I think you have it out of order. I think they jerk off to their shitty drawn titties. They come, they feel shame, and then they critically look at the picture and be like, "Oh, your tit looks like a square,"
I like this idea.
Where titties are titties too.
No, but
and then they fix
in
it.
in a more serious topic, I bet it's about the quality of the artwork, because if they were doing it in the past, they have already a standard to do and watch. So yay!
Well, I mean, some people
I,
like they started doing this because they wanted to draw the porn that they couldn't find, right?
Exactly. And it's easier to stimulate yourself with an image than with your imagination. So that justifies a lot of things. So yeah. Also, crap, your answer is 3,533 games.
Saw your
Wait,
posts on the
3,000?
Code Vein
Yes.
subreddit.
I have over
I
10,000 ignored titles.
Okay.
I feel like I could jerk off to a picture if I like drew it and then waited 2 years and came back after I forgot about it.
Oh man, whoever
I
drew this must be a good artist. Wait,
I
I
feel like it
drew
would do
it.
the trick then.
So
These are
your
my
point.
titties.
So your point is kind of if I jerk to my own art, it's like jerking to myself, looking me at the mirror or something like that.
Ender, get
I
out
feel like
now.
it's your own creation. Like you take all the wonder out of it because you made it.
Get out of here, Ender, while you still have the chance.
No, but no, because imagine that you create a character that is very wholesome. Of course, you are not going to jerk off to that. But if you create a fictional character that is made to make sex, obviously you are going to jerk off to that because that is its purpose.
Well, like
You don't
Andy
feel bad.
Warhol made porn and he was asexual, but that's a
I
whole
love how
other
you
topic.
describe it as a character, as if it would be any kind of interconnectivity between the porn images. Like,
It could be a
let
tree. There
alone
are dendrophiliacs.
let alone a complete like item as opposed to just like a pair of tits with like half a sex position. Yeah, like not even finishing like half of their bodies. Like, all right, I got all I need.
I mean, the human mind is able to fill in many gaps.
Many.
Many gaps.
Life has many doors, Ed boy.
And some of those doors lead to dendrophilia.
Ah,
I have definitely seen a lot of like weird posts on Facebook about people that have sex with nature. And not the animal
Okay.
part of nature, the plant part of nature.
Okay, I was about to ask that. So when you say nature, so here's a question. Here's a question. Venus flytraps, yay or
Uh-huh.
nay?
Nay. No.
Yes, they exist.
They do exist.
There you go.
I feel like it wouldn't be very practical because Venus flytraps are very fragile and you might just kill it in any attempt to do something like that.
No, what I really wonder is
I think so.
how do they do it so it doesn't hurt? Like fuck a tree. How do you fuck a tree without hurting yourself?
I guess you
Uh,
drill
You
a
play
hole
Dark
in it and
Souls
sand it
and
really
develop
smooth.
masochistic.
you know what? That's a topic to ask somebody that actually does do that. Me, I just, you know, I saw.
I got a
You
question
watch
for
furry porn.
a step back though.
Thank you.
So functionally, go back to the Venus flytrap thing. What's the difference functionally between that and fucking a leaf? Like, doesn't the plant just
Well,
die and that's what you're left with?
Well, no, it's like the thing is a leaf. It's like it's just a leaf. It can like float around, but a Venus flytrap, like you could fertilize it a little bit by giving it some nutrients by putting it in the ground.
By putting it in the ground. Not where I thought
Yes,
you were going with
just
that.
use the dirt, and then remember, there's a lot of sugar in semen, so you can use that to fertilize a plant.
You know, I think humans make something that's much better for fertilizer, but that's just me.
I don't think plants crave sugar.
Venus flytraps do.
No, but the bacteria does. Yeah, the bacteria on the root nodules do.
Cacti grind.
Like,
No, I have a distinct image of like it was like like a Vice documentary video of like people doing this stuff, and it was mostly just women snailing their way across grass, like, and that was about it.
I was gonna say, if you're just
Nailing their
including
way
plants as a
across.
whole, I think the plant is definitely the man in the relationship
What the
with like a
fuck am I
cucumber.
listening to? Right?
swimming across grass. This is what we created.
Yeah,
Are you proud?
I'm not explaining that any further, and I feel like we should find another topic to discuss.
Are you proud,
All
Dan,
right.
about the thing that we created?
Okay.
I'm proud of the
Here's a
things that
topic
I've
that is
accomplished.
math related.
Go ahead.
Okay. Here's the topic that's math related that I've spent the past 3 days solving. All right, so in D&D, you have to roll dice and all this kind of crazy shit. That's not a question or statement or anything, but you know this shit. But sometimes you get a lot of really bad luck where you just miss all the time. And the question is do you think that RNG hates us as people in video games? Like, this is a legitimate mathematical question that I have solved recently, and I want to know what you guys think.
Like, if RNG is the enemy,
It depends.
Correct. Like, it goes out of its way to make you lose.
I don't think
Yes.
so.
All right, now why do you think so?
I do not think so. Was my answer.
Uh,
Why do
I
you
can
not think so?
I can come up with a bullshit pseudo intellectual thing. But the thing you want to do, it's like tangled headphones. The thing you want to do is order, and the randomness of the RNG is inherently disorder.
Yeah, it's like trying to solve a Rubik's cube by turning sides randomly. It could happen hypothetically, but it's not going to happen.
No, so I don't think so because that it's like a scheme against us. Like maybe some game developers rig the games to make it more hard, but you can do things to change the output and always be random.
Oh, see, that's a different thing. But you're talking about like RNG as a concept, right?
Hmm. No, as a numeric thing. For
No, I
example,
mean like Crab is talking about is RNG evil as a concept, right?
no,
Well,
because
look at it this way. Like, say you're just using like a random algorithm to do like a random number generation. Like you know,
mhm,
like to have dice in a video game, you play like a D&D
exactly.
game. Are those algorithms either broken, designed poorly, or do they work perfectly correctly in such a way to make sure that you get bad luck streaks very consistently?
Oh, see,
Mhm.
that's yeah. See, Fallen started talking about like the programmers of XCOM just adding like a -1 to your dice roll because fuck you.
No. I was going to say the
Well,
example of XCOM in the other way around. Like, if you get like a bad roll and you reload your save and do another movement, you have a totally different roll. So I think that RNG doesn't hate us or is the enemy. It's working as intended.
Well, that's a
Is my
very
thing.
that also depends on, that. So like in Mario Party, your dice rolls, depending on which Mario Party you're playing, your dice rolls will either be determined at the beginning of the term or determined when you roll the dice. So there are
Mhm.
some
Wait,
instances
so
where, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so me like waiting for that perfect time to try and oh, there's the 6. That means if I hit A now, it's gonna be a 10, whatever. That is completely false.
Yeah, depending on which Mario Party, yes. Some of them do work that way, some of them don't. For example, Mario Party 4, if we were to say, like, if we did a turn and then like the game crashed before the end of the turn and then we had to reload the save and do that turn again, we would get the same dice rolls. So just
Wow,
because
deterministic
that's
Mario Party is
yeah.
brutal.
so
It's just luck.
I can explain that a little bit more. So all sorts of randomness that you see in video games isn't actually random. Every bit of randomness that you have is determined the moment you turn that game on or load your save file whenever they decide to seed in the random number generator. There is no randomness. It's always determined from the very beginning.
Yeah, they
So the
like
game already knows what it's going to do.
Hmm.
any random number generator has to be based on something. Like the large majority
Hmm.
of them are based on universal clocks, but like, when you've got a console that isn't connected to the internet and can't find the current universal time, like it has to base it off of something. That's why things like RNG manipulation for speed runs of a Pokemon game to get a very specific Pokemon to run through the entire game with is a possible thing.
Hmm.
Yep.
It's like it's all this complicated bullshit of like you turn on your DS at this specific time and start the game at this specific time so that you can get the right dice rolls to get the right Pokemon to start with and have a good speed run. And if you don't get that, you don't do the speed run. Like it's not something you can just do.
So does that mean by comparison dice-based games are inherently more evil or less evil?
In real life
You want
or in computer?
Yeah, like
Less.
real physical dice.
I mean, If we're
Real
talking about
physical dice depends on the person.
exactly, if they are not truncate or charged, or the person has a knowledge on how to throw the dice, they are less evil.
Certainly, but I
Yeah.
definitely
it,
make sure that I teach my dice a certain lesson if they decide to go against me. I have
You say that as
putting
you
them in the
don't play
microwave really quick.
Warhammer.
I usually just use a small hammer, but and then I
Look,
bring all the
what
other
you need to
dice
do
out
is
to
learn how to
watch.
handle.
I was gonna say cook the dice so they always roll on 6s.
You can do
Yeah,
that.
that is actually a thing, and I hate it.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's
but
a lot of things you can do in real life that really messes with like quote unquote real randomness.
Yeah, like counting cards.
exactly. So, what is the
Well, that's
answer?
why I
Are
say dice that, assuming they're not like modified to be cheatery, are as close to real random as you can get. Cause like, yeah, different people have different like dice rolling techniques. But does any one of them really skew any particular way unless you're like just picking them up and dropping them straight down onto the same fucking
there is a
facing over
way.
and over?
There is a way that has.
So that's a thing for neuroscience.
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably a thing that you could probably practice to get something done. If you if you were willing to put that time and effort into it, but like I feel like it would also make it
I feel
very
like if that was
obvious that like, oh,
possible,
I'm really trying to get this roll, and like whoever you're playing with be like, fuck that, just roll the dice, you idiot.
I feel like if there was a technique, it would be a commonly known technique.
There is a technique, but only works with one die.
Like if you
And
pick up any more in your than one in your hand, it fails.
yeah, because how it works is that you have to pick the die in a specific way and throw it like spinning, and the spinning maintains it like facing up. So whenever it lands in the number that you had facing up. And if you have more dice, well, they collide into each other and they change the result.
Thus making
So
them
note to self: I
impervious
cannot
to.
cheat at D&D with you.
Exactly. But so the conclusion is RNG evil or not?
Like, you guys want to
Explain.
know
Still,
the answer?
still
I mean, I
yes.
don't care.
So mathematically, if it followed a true random distribution, no, it has no bias against you.
exactly.
But the random
Uh-huh.
number generators in video games actually do create these artificial bad luck hells for you to sit in for a while. Not on
Mhm.
purpose. It's just what they do. And it's something I spent like the past 4 fucking days trying to prove, and it's been driving me insane.
Can I ask why did you try to prove that?
And did you
Because this one
successfully
game
prove it?
kept making my paladin miss. Yes, I did. I did prove it.
Wait,
How
wait,
did you
wait. So
prove it?
have you been playing D&D?
I've been playing a game called Solasta, and it's based on D&D. It's pretty much just D&D combat
Most games like that,
simulator.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So and I get bad luck, and I'm like, my initial thoughts were wrong on it, but I did prove that there is an issue with random number generation that you can fall into. And also, I think I'm being attacked by a cat. No, never mind.
It's like every fucking save slot I've started in Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah, I don't know how the randomness works for that. It's like some games save your RNG to keep going from there. There's like this whole video I watched about just the Dampe digging game in Ocarina of Time. It's like you have a 10% chance of getting that stupid piece of heart, but it can take hundreds of attempts at 10%. It's nonsensical.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in statistics, it should be 10 attempts and you most likely will get the piece. But in reality, it isn't. Makes you wonder.
I feel like a paper can be written on
Well,
this.
so
You could write a paper on
I
this,
can
but then
explain a
big
lot of that,
video
but I don't
games
know.
would big video
Wait.
game would suppress it. They wouldn't want us to hear about it. They wouldn't
So
want the
so when
masses to
when
know
I won that
RNG is evil.
lottery, when I won that lottery in Mario Party, do you think It was predetermined that I won no matter which one I picked.
At some point. At some point, something was definitely predetermined. I think like probably at the beginning of the game, the different options were predetermined, and you just happened to pick the right one. But yeah, like
Yeah.
it gets
Well, there's other things you can do to kind of.
yeah. There's definitely like we could probably, if we analyze everything that happened in that game, like we could probably find a way to recreate getting that same win every time, but it's it's complicated, right? It's not something you could just do. Not in like an afternoon at least.
Yeah, because at the end, maybe the computer already generates the roles and whatnot, but the computer cannot generate your actions. Like if you have an option to pick right or left, they can already say that you roll a 10, for example, but they cannot tell you which way to go or what actions to do or what items to use. Sorry. So there is some human interaction involved with all RNG, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I've seen
some
analyses of
games.
like the maximum accuracy you can have in most Fire Emblem games is like 95%, but like the actual numbers, if you run that 100 times, doesn't end up at 95, and it's usually significantly lower, which it raises the question: is it actually 95%, and we're just having bad luck, or is there something else going on?
Mhm.
And the answer really depends on
There
which
are
Fire
some
Emblem.
games. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of a big thing too, especially when you have games that have characters with random animation. So they have like an idle animation, which chooses between like standing there, bouncing their butt, or like looking around. The RNG is constantly cycling each frame. So the more you wait, the more you can influence it.
I am so good at Apex and I hit all the shots. Why do I miss 99% of shots with a sniper? That has nothing to do with RNG. You just got to get good, my friend.
Ooh,
That's bad internet. That's bad internet. They're lagging.
nah. That is just give him excuses to be more salty, and I do not appreciate that.
Look
You
at
just
this guy
suck.
playing Apex on Wi-Fi. Why aren't you using a LAN connection, dude?
Yes,
Dude,
exactly.
that was my whole viewpoint the entire time we played Gears as a teenager. It's like, if I had better internet, I'd fucking win that.
See, but you had the excuse because you
No.
definitely had shitty internet. And that's where the conversation ends.
Yeah. So, Dan, you told me that you had something to say for today, or you already forgot?
I mean, I had a few things to talk about if we didn't end up talking about other things, but it's not like I absolutely have to talk about them. I
Yeah,
got
but
a
I'm just saying.
You should
we
talk about them.
we got a new
Yeah,
hamster
they're
today.
brought up now.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, well, unfortunately, my previous hamster passed away a few weeks ago, so we took a bit of time, and then we ended up getting another one, and he's fucking tiny, man. It's like the size of a quarter, whereas like my last hamster, I mean, she was fully grown and like 2 years old, so of course she's gonna be bigger, but she is also a Syrian hamster, and this one's a Russian hamster, so Syrian hamsters are also bigger. And this one's also male. The previous one was female, and in hamsters, females are usually bigger than the males. So yeah, this guy's fucking tiny. He's a little
and
bugger,
you're going
and
to keep shaming him because he's tiny. That is
absolutely,
disgusting, Dan. That is fucking
we
disgusting.
don't tolerate people who are under 6 feet around here.
Dan's a total size queen when it comes to his hamsters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So, does this mean I have to get surgery to still hang out with you guys?
yeah.
and probably Brett too.
Oh, I'm not short.
it's it's like the episode of South Park when one of the characters gets surgery to go play basketball.
Yeah, that was what was his name? I don't want to be descriptive because it's going to sound very racist.
Yeah, I don't want to call it what they called it, because like that's that's not kosher these days. But I think it was Kyle that did it.
Yeah, it was Kyle, and he turned himself into
A
a really
basketball
good.
player.
Yeah, yeah. Let's let it at that.
Was it like a reverse Michael Jackson?
Yes.
Exactly. And his father turned himself into a fucking dolphin.
Yeah.
Because why not?
God, that was hilarious.
Uh, but yeah, you know, I hate that series, but it has given me a lot of many good laughs.
Yeah, there's certain things that I like and hate about South Park. I like the politicalness, the political nature of South Park, and the fact that they're like very middle of the road with it. Like nobody's
This
above getting the South Park treatment.
this may be like offensive, but how do you feel about the Canadians on South Park?
I think it's hilarious.
Okay.
Like
They're very accurate.
yeah, no.
Yeah, me and Dan just fart on each other constantly.
Yeah, there's
I like that
that.
for you.
And the fact that like the top half of my, like everything above my jaw is completely separate from the rest of my body.
Like just last week, I farted an envelope and then mailed it to Dan.
But
Lovely.
no, I think it's pretty good. There's nothing. I don't think it's something that I can't laugh at because I'm Canadian. Like their take on other ethnicities is very tongue in cheek, and not that Canadians are a different ethnicity from white Americans, but like the way that they do it is very, like, they're explicitly trying to make everything as stereotypical as possible. Like they have a black character called Token Black. Like of course they're not trying for representation. They're trying to mock
The
the public.
stupidity.
Yeah, like they're trying to show how ridiculous these stereotypes are by actually making them real. Like I can't think of a person that looks at like the artwork for Jim Crow back in the day and thinks that that's like funny in a very comedic sense. Like you look at that artwork and you think like this is fucking ridiculous. Nobody actually looks like that. And like when it was originally created, of course it was intended to be like offensive at the time because they didn't like the people that they were drawing pictures of. But
Well, it was meant to be like hateful, right?
yeah, and like they're doing this on purpose, whereas like things like South Park and other very tongue-in-cheek forms of comedy are like, we're gonna take this idea and we're gonna roll with it because like we want to sort of outline the fact that this is completely batshit. Like I like South Park, but I would never look at South Park for inspiration on anything because like you don't watch South Park for people to look up to. Like it,
Wait,
I'm
wait,
going
wait.
back to Trailer
I
Park
need to
Boys now.
clarify
Like,
something.
yeah,
You're telling me a TV show where a gay guy spends the entire ending of an episode making sure Britney Spears fits up his ass is not something I should be admiring.
no, you should not make it your personal goal to fit Britney Spears inside of your colon. Like,
And I'm not going to stop you. If you're
I'm
going to
gonna
do it,
hard
like send
disagree.
photos.
I think if that's your dream, you should pursue it.
Exactly, like and send photos and whatnot. Like go ahead, crap.
if you can dream it,
You're
you can
doing
do it.
exactly.
There's a lot of things I dreamed of, and I don't want to do a lot of that.
But you can do it. That is the wonderful part. You don't want to, but you can.
I wish I could remember all the weird Cthulhu kind of dreams that I had, and I would prove to you I can't do that.
You commune with the deep one.
I dream of turning the parents of my enemies into chili. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Like you can hate people, but you don't
No,
like you
I,
shouldn't be the person that hates somebody enough to turn their parents
I,
into chili and then
I
make them eat
hated
it.
that fucking episode because it wasn't even his enemy. It was just, I don't invite you to my party or something stupid like that. And
Yeah.
I
Well,
hate him.
that just further drives the nail in the coffin of like don't do shit Cartman does because like
Because he's Carmen.
he's not murdering this guy's parents and turning them into chili because he faulted him in like a legitimate way. No, like it was something super petty, as most
Like,
things are with Cartman.
like, like he didn't greet him or something stupid, and I hate him. I hate him with all my soul. I know that is the purpose, but I hate him so much that it hurts. And if anyone wants to be like Carmen, I hope you die a horrible death. And I do not regret saying that. Ugh. You know, I just noticed that the current state of the internet and cancel culture and whatnot hasn't touched South Park. And I'm not sure if I'm glad or scared.
Oh, it absolutely has. Like South Park's been banned in China now, which I'm
Well,
surprised it
I feel
wasn't
like
banned
that's
in China to begin
Everything's
with.
banned in China.
yeah. I
No,
feel like that's a
I
separate issue.
Yeah,
no,
like that,
South
that,
Park
that doesn't
was
count.
you could watch South Park in China for the longest time, but until they recently like put it, I think it was like 3 or 4 seasons ago, where like they did a whole bunch of stuff on China. What then they actually get banned in China, and like
I wonder why.
eh, and it's fucking ridiculous. And I love that season because like Stan's dad goes to China and becomes like a fucking like a sleeper agent for them by going out and like well they arrest him because he brings a shit ton of weed in and he's like how can I make it up to you, so they get him to go and murder Winnie the Pooh in the streets because Winnie the Pooh is banned in China. So and it was only after that that they're like, yeah, you're not allowed to watch South Park in China. And it's like, why were you allowed to watch South Park in China in the first place?
Like,
If you
but
couldn't watch
it,
Winnie the fucking Pooh, like,
I don't know. I feel like you recognize Taiwan as a country, and then all right, you're banned from China.
yeah, Taiwan is a country and they deserve independence.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, so we are banned from China now.
Hey, I'm
Good.
fine with that.
Okay,
I
fine,
am
fine.
perfectly okay with that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
yeah, me and
that's not
Dan
the
were basically gonna get arrested on the spot. So
yeah, like if I go to China, like I'm staying in China and that's not a good thing. Uh so I have very little passion for that. Like Chinese people, great. Love them. Chinese culture, awesome, amazing. Chinese government, fuck the Chinese government.
Exactly.
But you were saying like that doesn't surprise me. Wow, they were banned in China. Like okay, they take their time, but I mean like the culture, the actual culture of internet in these countries that they have like attacked the series in a way that they have to cancel it or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that is a thought that is weird to me. Like they cancel people for lesser things and not South Park for being South Park.
Yeah, well, what I was getting to is like after that they did this whole like hashtag cancel South Park. It
Hmm.
was the season after that where they they jumped the shark on purpose. Like they were trying to make it as offensive as possible because they wanted to see if they could get South Park canceled. And that was the season where every episode opened up with a school shooting. Like it was ridiculous and they did everything in their power to try and get South Park canceled because they knew that it wasn't going to get canceled. Like people still love South Park and are going to continue to love South Park regardless of what they do. So they're just going to completely push the envelope, try and like it doesn't matter if it's even funny or not. Like they just fucking do it. And they just do like a whole bunch of like balls to the wall random jokes about like school shootings and the most other offensive crap that you can think of, and people are still just like, it's a perfect meta example of just the society that we live in. If you're popular enough, you can get away with anything.
Yep.
And
Didn't
they,
that James Charles guy fuck kids
yeah,
and get caught
or
and admit it?
yeah, something like that. I don't know. I've
I love this
never.
quiet.
The only thing I know about James Charles is that he looks like a fucking alien, and that's it. I
Well,
don't
now
know why
you know
Okay,
too.
anybody
what?
that's into high fashion looks like a goddamn alien, because like I don't understand.
I just noticed that. How do you fucking backseat a podcast?
How do you backseat a podcast? Well, let me tell you.
Tell me. Go ahead.
What you do is you tell us what to talk about. Why are you not talking about the porn you were talking about a while ago?
We can always go back. That is very easy.
I like how we got on the topic of how offensive South Park is because I told everybody that I got a new hamster.
I don't even know how we got to that.
How the hamster or South Park?
No, the South Park, because like I
Yeah.
remember the hamster. We're trying to get you to talk about something.
Yeah, like where is the link? I don't know. I don't actually know.
We
Someone
gotta.
should go through and make a flow chart of all the topics throughout an episode.
Well, that's sort of
How
what the
much does
topic.
it say?
That's sort of what the talking points are for, to be like, here's the things that we talked about in a roundabout
You
way.
don't give us talking points. You're just like,
I missed them last time. Okay, I've got a list here. I refuse to end this stream without reading out what's on this list. Okay.
Okay. If you don't read what is in the list, we are going to burn you alive.
we're
That's
Okay?
going to write. We're gonna cancel you.
I was gonna say just the
Exactly.
podcast's over, but
Yeah, boiling alive works too.
Yeah, no. What is worse in Canada? Like being boiled alive or born alive? Because like it's cold as shit, and
Wh-
maybe starting a
Worse
fire
in
is.
Canada? Like
I feel
I
like
don't think these options vary by geography.
I
Yeah.
mean, it depends. They can vary if you are creative enough.
Look, just because they're born in Canada doesn't mean that the mothers shove their vaginas into snow to give birth.
I was
Do you think
born
we're
in
gonna
the
boil any
cold.
differently than any human being?
Well, you see, we live in colder weather, so we have a higher average internal body temperature. So that affects how the meat cooks as it broils.
You're not supposed to cook children.
Oh fuck! Damn it! Hang on, I gotta go, guys. I got something to attend to.
I left the stove on. God damn it. Uh, and for the next podcast, how to cook your child.
Well, there is a whole book about how you can turn children into shoes, clothing, book covers, food, and other various products. Courtesy
What?
of
Who am I?
Was
Who
it
am I?
written by
Ivan the
Nazis?
Terrible?
No, it was written by a British guy. I don't know. Let me go look up the author. I can't remember the name.
Is it at least like efficient?
John.
Like you use the bones, the organs, the skin, or is like just you need 5 to 4 kids to make a chair?
I don't know, but it was written by Jonathan Swift. Apparently, hold on. Yeah, Jonathan
He-
Swift in 1729. Here
okay,
you go. I'll link it to you guys. It's gonna be in the chat.
Dan, can I request you read something from the book?
Oh, A Modest Proposal.
Yes.
Yes, I'm aware of A Modest Proposal.
I love books like these because they're almost like historical South Park.
Yeah. No, there's some good shit out there. Like, A Modest Proposal is good read. If you're into that sort of thing, it's hilarious. Like, it's
Can I
attributed as
request
the origin of satire. Yeah, no, A Modest Proposal is something we talk about in library. It was like one of the first like banned books that wasn't like for religious or like offensive reasons. Like, and it's good stuff. If you ever have the opportunity to read A Modest Proposal, I would definitely recommend it. You can find it online for free. Like,
I was going to ask you if you read like a paragraph or something about it to give an introduction, but okay.
I'll see if there's let's see.
The moment of silence.
Yeah,
When
I'm looking for the link.
He is
for-
finding A Modest Proposal.
yes.
Hold on, is this the link for it?
Let the librarian do his work. No one disturb the librarian when he's working.
The librarian
I-
is dead.
I am assured by a very knowing American of my acquaintance in London that a young, healthy child, well nursed, is, at a year old, a most delicious, nourishing, and wholesome food, whether stewed, roasted, baked, or boiled, and I make no doubt that it will equally serve as a fricassee or ragout.
So the original
Lovely.
dead children joke.
Yeah, pretty much. This is the original dead baby joke.
Yep.
It's an entire book on eating children and using their body parts for materials.
I give it extra points if it's efficient. Like you can use this part for this, for this, for this, and you don't waste anything.
Oh yeah, they talk about how you can make shoes as well.
Yeah.
Are they shoes or boots?
Shoes. This was done in like a great, I don't know if I'd call it a famine, but like a big depression in the Britain era.
The solution: eating children.
Yeah, like I forget the historical context for it, but it was during that time, and this was one of the things to come out
It's like,
due to
wow,
that.
they're gonna starve to death anyway.
Might as well they be helpful for something like feeding the people, I guess. But yeah, I guess I have a new book to read.
Yeah,
Lovely.
I'd recommend it. It's good.
Yep. Same
Yeah,
here.
because I'm reading this bullshit from Lovecraft and I hate it.
Lovecraft is all about like sticking Cthulhu eggs into women and having them birth them.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
no,
Lovecraft is about racism.
I don't think that was in there. Yes, Lovecraft is about racism, but you're not aware that you're racist.
Like an indescribable racism.
Yes. It's literally the
Lovecraft.
fear of the unknown.
The fear of the racism.
Lovecraftian racism. Lovely.
There's literally no difference between the concept of an unknowable world with impossible architecture and ungodly powers beyond your mental comprehension, and just not knowing anything about the black neighbors next door.
It's the same warlord there. Like, God damn it. You know, like they gave a lot of praise to Lovecraft, but at the same time I'm reading it and I'm like, that's kind of boring. I don't know if I'm the only one in that page. Like,
Oh no, I've never
Yeah,
bothered reading it. I just look at the art.
Some of the stories
what?
are some of the stories are not so great, but at least they're like less than 20 pages. So,
Crap,
you know.
just Google pictures of Cthulhu and be like, wow, Lovecraft's great.
Go
Yeah,
to
no,
the chat because
that's
I
been
like
done
that
by
quote.
other people, I'm sorry to say. These African neighbors and their air conditioning.
Yes. God damn them.
Yeah. That's definitely like I'm not a racist, but
But if I
um,
were,
like I get a lot of people from different countries in my hotel, and it's summer, so like as a thing that we do, like we just run the AC in every room. Like if somebody's planning to come in, like if that room's reserved, we go in ahead of time and turn the AC on so that it's nice and cool. But like we get some dude shows up from Turkey and is like, "Oh yeah, like I'm ready to, spend the next couple weeks in Canada. And he goes up to his room to do like 2 weeks of quarantine and comes out and it's like, it was freezing cold in there. I tried to turn up the heat, but it didn't work. And it's like, that's an AC unit. If you turn it up, it's not going to do anything. It's just going
That
to continue to cool your apartment. Like, it's like, it's freezing cold here. And it's like, it's 30 degrees outside, dude. Like, come on.
that will be me. That will be me.
Yeah, and I was telling Fallen the other day that I had a couple Colombians check in the middle of the night, and I went to check their room to make sure it was clean beforehand, and the AC was on the entire day, so it was 60 degrees Fahrenheit in the room.
That is freezing.
Thank you for killing my fellow compatriots. Like,
Look, you
yeah,
probably wouldn't get along with them anyway.
Exactly. But why do you think that?
I
Why
don't
makes
know.
you
Because we
think
don't
that?
like air conditioning.
They have the money to travel, so they're probably not in the same class as you.
Fuck you.
And from No, that's nothing against you.
That
I
is
just
brutal.
it sounds like you don't like people with more money than you.
I was
So
just
he
gonna
doesn't
say
like
he doesn't like
anyone.
Colombians. He said that historically.
Colombians, they like everybody else. They just don't like other Colombians or Venezuelans.
Apparently.
No, I don't want to take that topic because it's like, it's like an
We might get
American
into the
saying,
realm of actual racism.
no, exactly, because it's like saying an American doesn't like a Mexican. It's the same. But I hate them.
But how else would I get my tacos?
I hate Venezuelan people. Kill me. Change topic, please.
That's okay.
on a
We're
topic,
just if anybody has any final thoughts, we could talk about. Otherwise, we're reaching the end here.
how much meat do you stuff into your burrito?
All of it.
All of it.
None?
There you go. You don't have meat in your burrito, fall and get out of here.
No, because in this country that is a felony. Like, we do not eat burritos because we have better things.
Yeah.
Oh,
Get
like
out of
you
here.
the cartel will arrest you and take your family if you eat a burrito.
No, like that is not really a thing like on here. Like, burritos are not a thing in here. So, jokes aside, there is very rare to see like a burrito restaurant around here. So
But yeah,
You should start one. There's a niche waiting to be filled with
it's
burritos.
not going to fulfill. They have tried and they have fallen. So no, it's
Well, you're fallen, so you will rise.
high crap.
one of these days, he'll get over it. Excuse me, he'll get over his mental slump and he will change all of his screen names to Rising Blood Tier.
Now
I
your
bet it's
chance,
gonna be a
Fallen.
midlife crisis that does it.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yes.
Started from the closet, now we're queer.
Well,
Did Dan say anything in the pregame? Get all the
no,
stuff
he
he shouldn't
didn't.
say? Yeah.
No.
Dan, behave yourself.
Let me
In the
just do a
pregame.
username check. Look, you gotta get over this now so you can become Rising Blood Tier before somebody else takes the name.
I had been using that nickname for a long time, so I don't think I'm going to change it anytime soon.
I can force a name change at my Discord at least.
Yeah. Oh, I'm well aware
I-
of that.
I'm gonna buy the domain for Rising Blood Tier and just fill it with pictures of shirtless old men.
No, fill it with pictures of Nishiki. Yeah, he'll hate it.
I hate
What
you.
about furries?
I can't stand them.
Okay.
Look,
At the
we're
end,
furries are acceptable here. We might give them a hard time, but furries are still allowed here.
Great.
Yeah.
Now we're the furry podcast.
Well, Danny's giving them a hard time, so yes.
If you're a furry, you may be forced to watch some flash skits, things that might not necessarily agree with your lifestyle, but but we still accept you here. We just might send the Inquisition on you.
Might. Probably yes.
God, I love those videos. They're always hilarious.
Yes,
And
they
if
are
anyone
awesome.
has a Fiverr account, Dan is looking to commission some Newgrounds furry porn. $5.
I don't
$5,
think.
everyone.
Did we specify it was supposed to be furry? I don't think so.
Well,
It
this is
was
where we're
implied.
specifying it.
Yeah, he
It
wants
was
it. This
implied.
is a furry
We're
podcast. We know what he wants.
we're narrowing our focus now.
Okay, so for next month, everyone has to have a persona. So that is your homework.
Persona, I think I'm already done with this one.
No, because crab doesn't have four. So
Oh, hold on. I want to call bullshit, but I don't know if I can call bullshit. Give me a second. Yes, bullshit. There are furry crabs. There's a thing called the Chinese mitten crab. Fuck you. Take that.
I want to say it. Then I need the proof.
Here's the thingy. I'm gonna put it in some place where it can be found. There you go.
I was waiting on Discord.
I am. I'm gonna put it in Discord too. I'm gonna put in
Yes,
everything.
Is
Beautiful.
the origin of the fur important?
Well, it's not on their butthole, so you don't have to worry
Like-
about that.
No, I was gonna say, can moldy bread like that? Mold makes fur.
Oh, yeah, you could continue to be bred. It looks like Fallen is going to be the one that has to really be creative with his persona.
I don't want to come with this topic right now, but for some reason that I don't want to discuss, I already have a persona.
And do we have to wait until next time to find out? Or are you willing to share?
No, next time.
Next time, okay. We next time that will be our opening topic. We discuss what we've rooted about in our mental brain space about our potential personas for the next month.
Uh,
I
I
feel
hope
like
I
I'd
remember that so I can come back with so many questions.
I feel like I'd want to be a cat, but like I don't know. Maybe
That
there's
is too
other
much
options
pressure.
I'd be interested in.
Go ahead.
It's honestly something I've never thought about before.
Just be
We
generic wolf guy,
what-
like every
what
other
do
cringy
you
furry.
mean? We were playing Borderlands and we had this discussion.
Did we?
Yes.
But then what did I
Remember
say? What was my persona? Because I don't remember.
No, you have to came with another new one because no, fuck you. I
Oh.
remember
A
very
cat
vividly
with
that we were.
Alzheimer's.
Yes, I remember very vividly we discussing if a fursuit was a sexual toy or not.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that conversation now. It's all
PTSD,
coming
it's all
back
coming
to me.
back.
But yeah, at this point, like I've grown enough of a beard that I think I'm just wearing a fursuit all the time anyway.
No,
I have
Dan,
so much
a dwarf
hair.
is in a persona. Single tier, nice. I love it. God damn it.
I love that we've reached the point in my streaming career where people are making joke accounts.
Uh-huh.
That's what I've always wanted.
But if, as you said, if no one has something stupid to add,
Yeah,
I think this is a good time.
yeah. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, I could talk about my vape a little bit more, but I know Brett's just gonna call it a crack pipe, and then yeah, that's
I only hate it because I don't understand it.
It's like
100%
smoking, but
true.
not smoking.
Well,
That's-
but the
yes.
resume, we are going to burn you alive if you don't do it.
Just remember the talking points.
Yeah,
Yes.
bro, I vape. All right, I was getting there.
What was the threat last week? Hey, Dad, you gotta do this or you're gonna get crucified.
Yes.
Wouldn't be the first time. Talking points for this evening. Brewing red shiny apples. Rolling your joints. Working hard. Fake assholes. Hentai by numbers. RNG hates you. Satire park. Modest proposals. And whatever the fuck we were just talking about.
Man, you
Personas.
completely
Personas.
disregarded my fucking jerking off in the military follow-up.
Uh,
For the red apple was barely nothing.
jerking.
Exactly.
It was that at the yeah, you're right. I my bad. Look, I have to do the podcast and write these at the same time, so it's more difficult than you'd think.
I just want you
Dan,
to
we're
know
very
that
displeased. You need to take better notes next
yes,
week.
Just
Yeah,
I
I
just
go
think it would.
rewatch the thing.
I think next week I might get Ree to do the talk, or not next week, next month. Get Ree to do the talking points so that so that I can not.
He
do you
missed his
really want?
hamster too, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, well, the hamster led into satire part, so that was a
Well,
whole
yeah.
discussion.
As an ending point, you're still getting crucified. So
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you straight to the crucifying pile now.
It's okay with me. You know, I could use the hole in my hand for things.
I could take it.
There are sex dolls with there's that look like Jesus Christ and have holes in the hands and feet.
Well, I could
good
have
night,
gone without
everyone.
knowing that. Yeah, good night.
Everyone.
That's where we're gonna end things. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. It's been grand.
Bye.